This week, I'm making up on some lost time. Join me as I recap week 16 of being a YouTube content creator. Let's jump into the stats. I have 16 published videos on my channel. I know I said I had 16 videos last week, but I accidentally counted an extra video. I also have 6 shorts published. For last week, on the videos and the shorts, I have a total of 64 views. I got 6 likes. I gained 0 new subscribers, and I got 2.4 watch hours. This is definitely my slowest performing week, and I think it's because I didn't publish a short to offset the video. And what I mean by that is that I think in the previous weeks, most of my views have been coming from my shorts and not my videos. This week, I made up a lot of lost time from the last couple of weeks because of all the editing issues and all the time I spent focusing on the one video. I edited and scheduled to publish 5 videos, 3 of them for my homesteading channel and 2 recaps that I was behind on because I was focusing so much on that one video last week and the week before. This week, I also got more intentional on really planning out what I'm going to be filming and when. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my ideas that I've been throwing into Notion, and I'm trying to schedule them into my Happy Planner so that I can know what I'm going to be working on filming on the days of the week. Have I done any research this week? I have. And again, I'm moving away from doing a YouTube type research and working towards researching for my homesteading channel more. I typically work from home, but in the coming weeks, I'm going to have to start going into the office, and that's a couple towns over. And so that means I'm going to be getting home a lot later. And to prep for the time that I'm going to have to be away from home and working on site, I'm going to do a video on some meals that I'm going to pre-make on the weekend so that I can just have easy dinners to reheat or to cook on the weekdays when I get home late at night. And so that's the kind of research that I'm doing, is what kind of meal prep can I do to make my life easier when I'm having to do these long commutes into the office. I also had to research some woodworking projects. I had to build a crate for my pantry. I already had 3 built and I needed to build a 4th one, but I lost the plans. And so I had to do some research on how to build that 4th crate. I also wanted to make a turntable for my pantry. I did a whole pantry reset video. And so some of the research that I did was on building some things for that pantry. So how did my video editing go this week? It was much smoother, and you can tell because I got 5 videos edited in the 1 week, which was very smooth. First, I started putting the clips on my local drive so that so that I wouldn't have to deal with the external hard drive crashing on me. But then I also decided to just do a little bit of research on that. And what I found was that my Mac had a setting on it that whenever it went to sleep, that it would disconnect the hard drive. And so I just switched that setting to never disconnect the hard drive. And so I haven't had that issue since. And also I'm just disconnecting the hard drive when I'm actually not doing any editing, just to make sure and keep it on the safe side. Before, I was just keeping it connected all the time, and I'd move the laptop and the hard drive wherever I was going back and forth. But now if I'm not editing, I am removing the hard drive so that I'm not risking losing all my clips again. For my scripting, I'm really getting more intentional on filling out in my Happy Planner when I'm starting to do things. So for example, this coming up weekend, I'm going to be filming making the pre-made meals for when I'm going to be in the office. And so I've put in the days that I'm going to research the meals on my Happy Planner. I've also put in the day that I'm going to go shopping for all the ingredients in my Happy Planner. And then of course the day that I'm going to film it. And so by organizing myself that way, I'm going to help avoid the last minute kind of being reactive about doing these videos and really to be more organized and more prepared. Let's talk about recordings. I recorded a whopping 330 clips this week. And what I'm doing is I'm doing most of my recording on the weekend when I have the bulk of my time. And that's when I'm doing the big projects. So the reason I have so many recordings is I did the big pantry clean out. I also recorded on my second device, the Insta360, and then I did a second day of work. So I did the big pantry clean out on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I built the crate and I built the turntable, and I was trying to do the labels for all of my containers in my pantry on my Silhouette Cameo. And so that project and the 2 recording devices is why I have so many clips. I also did try to record more throughout the week, just on the weekday, picking up a couple of clips here and there. But what I'm finding is that it's really hard to incorporate those clips into my videos because most of the time the video is about a project. And so pulling in these random clips throughout the week, it's not really working that well. So I'm thinking I'm going to stop with the weekday clip recording and not really use them. I did want to try to incorporate more clips into this video throughout the week, but again, because I'm just doing a weekly recap, it's harder to incorporate something that I've recorded randomly throughout the week. So I'm debating if there's really any value in recording these, daily random clips. I also want to talk about recording with two devices. So I record mostly with my iPhone because that's the device I started with and I'm more comfortable recording with the iPhone. But I did invest in the Insta360. And what I found is while I like having the Insta360, it's more challenging to edit when you have two different recording devices because you have to line them up perfectly. So it takes longer to get that lined up. And then you have to decide between which of the two views do you want to keep, which is more decisions to make when you're editing. And then lastly, because I'm trying to do more cinematic video, when I'm recording with the two devices, I'm not really thinking about the cinematic aspect. I just put one, recording device one place, another one in another place, and I don't touch them and I just start doing everything. Where if I just have the iPhone, I'm constantly moving the iPhone around to get a good view. And so I'm debating whether I should keep trying to force the use of the Insta360. It is a great little camera, and I don't know that I want to give up on it completely, but it's not really the vision that I have for my channel. I do want to say that the Insta did come in handy when I needed to do some research on my phone or not research, actually, I needed to use the phone for something. So I was fixing my sprinkler system, and the sprinkler is at the front of the house. The control box to the sprinkler is at the front of the house, and I was fixing a broken sprinkler head at the back of the house. And I wanted to run the sprinkler system from my phone. So what I did was I did use the Insta360 to record me while I was running the app so that I can pick up the actual sprinkler head, the fix or the not fix or the broken sprinkler head, right? Because I want them to see how things are happening in real time for me and not later after the fact. And I had done a sprinkler repair video before, and I missed a lot of good footage because I had to be on my phone looking up videos and researching how to fix this sprinkler head. And so I think I lost a lot of good footage. Now that I had the Insta360, I could still use my phone to do what I needed, and I could still record at the same time. So in that case, it really did come in handy. It was really well worth having it. But when I don't need to use my phone for anything other than to actually record, I don't know if it's worth it to have the two cameras. So all that to say is I think I'm going to leave the Insta360 as a backup camera for when I do need to use my phone and I'm not able to record with it, because I do want to continue to try to focus on getting more cinematic footage. And I'm not going to do that if I have the two different cameras and I'm just trying to focus on where to put, each camera, and I'm not going back and forth and really trying to focus on getting the right view, because I can't edit in the cinematic footage as much as I can get it when I'm looking at something and I'm doing something at that moment. Did I have to spend any money on my channel this week? No spend on my channel, thank goodness. How did I do with my schedule? So this week, I purposely did not schedule any strength training because I knew I wanted to focus on catching up from the previous 2 weeks disaster of losing everything. And so what I did was I did more walking on my treadmill opposed to actual strength training. I edited a lot on my treadmill while I was walking so I can get that cardio in, so I can still get some movement, but I did not schedule in any strength training. This coming up week, I'm really going to get back on track with my strength training because I feel like it's starting to impact me with my perimenopause symptoms. Do I have any accomplishments this week? I mean, catching up. Getting all those videos published. No, not really. There's no real accomplishments I could list this week. How were my emotions this week? So I'm also going to add into this category physical well-being. So my emotions this week were better than the last 2 weeks because I made a lot of progress on catching up on the videos that I didn't work on because I was focusing on the one that kept crashing on me. So I felt better. I got more confident in what I was editing. And so definitely there, I felt a much better emotionally because I'm all caught up now. Since I'm back to having a couple of weeks of videos queued up to be published, I'm more relaxed and I feel like I can just focus back to filming and working on maybe some more shorts. My physical well-being was something that I've been struggling with since a couple weeks after I started this journey. And really the main thing is I'm going through perimenopause and I'm feeling a lot of physical symptoms because of that. I'm in my late 40s and what I've been struggling with is hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings. I mean, all of it. I'm struggling with all of it. And because I have high risk of cancer, hormone therapy is out for me. So I've been taking some supplements, and in the beginning, it took the full 30 days for those supplements to kick in. But once they kicked in, I had full relief. It was good. And then I went through a family situation that really stressed me out. So I was not exercising, I was not eating well, and I was not sleeping well. And within a week of that stressful situation kicking in, I was back to feeling all those perimenopause symptoms. So that situation ended a couple of weeks ago, and I'm back to sleeping. I'm back to eating better, but I'm not back fully to my strength training. So while I have found relief in the last couple of weeks, I haven't found full relief. And I think that's because I haven't been doing my strength training. So starting next week, I'm going to get back on track with my 3 days a week of strength training. I'm going to get back on my creatine, and I'm hoping that with everything being in place, sleeping better, eating better, exercising more, taking all of my supplements, I will find the relief that I need. Let's talk about my goals. I have 4 goals. The first one is my daily calendar setup. So either Sunday night or Monday morning, I'm writing into my happy planner everything that needs to be scheduled in there for the week for success. So the first thing is my dinners, pre-planning my dinners in there, scheduling in the days that I'm going to do my strength training, and then scheduling in my YouTube tasks. And that's really become important for me to avoid overwhelm. And I've done that this week. So that goal is accomplished. My next goal is my journaling, and this one I'm slowly catching back up on. I am trying to get to journaling right after my Bible study every morning. I've done it most of the days this week. I think I missed 2 days. My next goal is to film my recaps on Monday. And the reason I'm trying to film them on Monday is because my week starts on a Monday and it ends on a Sunday. So if I can film it on a Monday, it'll be fresh in my mind and I can get the best quality recap for these videos. And I was able to film 2 recaps this week on the Monday. So the first recap was because of the week that I missed trying to film that one video that kept crashing on me. And then the second recap that I filmed was for the prior week. My last goal is to make sure that I'm putting the ideas into Notion as soon as they pop into my head. Because if I don't put them in right away, they're just going to flitter away. And so I've been trying to make sure that I put them into Notion right away. And this week, I think I put in like 5 or 6 ideas for content for my homesteading channel. Do I have any milestones for this week? I do not have any milestones this week. My friend, that wraps up week 16 of being a YouTube content creator. I want to thank you for the privilege of your time, and I hope to see you again next week.